Hello, friends. So, group practices versus individual ones. The processes in group practices, the potential, power, and energy that come to the group. When working alone, it's hard to achieve those things. Indeed, those processes that occur in group practices, that potential, power, and strength of energy that comes to the group, working alone, such things are difficult. Without your own strength, in a group practice, once it hits you, some processes start to unfold. You can work on your own for a long time. In a group practice, once it hits you, some processes start to unfold. You can work independently for a long time. And vice versa, I will tell you that when there is individual practice, that is, you work directly with a master who specifically sees what is wrong with you, who can specifically stitch your subtle structures and restore. How it should be. Well, naturally, they'll do it much faster and more accurately than you could after spinning your wheels in group practices for years. Something might be happening, but what exactly, it's unclear. Therefore, it is not possible to say unequivocally and specifically what is true and what is not. Everyone is different. Everyone has different psycho-emotional blockages and different internal patterns. Yeah, we all have different sounds. We're all made up differently, even though the principles of work are the same. Blockages are often the same, but they can come in different orders, they can have different structures, and the entry points can be different. That's why I say that individual work is always better. Especially when it's conducted by a highly qualified master, someone who really knows what they're doing, who has their own diagnostic methods, and understands both the energy structure and the physiological structure in a professional manner, and experienced. That the most important physiological structure, that. So, he knows exactly where the organs are located, like the liver is on the right, not the left, and the spleen is on the left, not the right. It's about anatomy and how everything influences each other. Without understanding, a person wanders. With a structured system and clear understanding, they get it done. So, if there's no understanding of this, of course, a person will just wander around. If there's already a structured system in place, with a clear understanding of what to do and how to do it, that person will get it done. They'll do it way more effectively than you will after spinning your wheels in group practices for years. Let's take a look at group therapy. The point is that, yes, a lot of energy comes in there. At the moment, the group is working, a lot of potential comes into the group. But you have to understand that the people in this group are a mixed bag, different from one another. Some might have unpleasant energies, and there could be entities hanging around with some of them, or who knows what else. And when this group merging happens, this group resonance, naturally, the one who is stronger is the one who's right. Usually, it's the facilitator. So, the person leading the group controls the processes within the group. If he's a qualified person, if he really understands what he's doing, sees, feels, knows, then there's just one question. Yeah, if that person is just like, and it all happens by itself. This is where it gets interesting. One shouted, another resonated. One felt better, another said, something's weighing me down. This is unbalanced. One feels good and happy, while the other feels sad and despondent, like never before in his life. This is what we call unbalanced work. And most of the groups, of course, that I observed, well, at a certain point, I stopped leading groups, around 2012, 2015. Because I saw that certain processes were happening that I just couldn't control. Why do I need this? Why would I participate in this as a group leader if I can't really control it? Now, when I can cover a group and clearly lead, clearly understand that what is here, it will not go anywhere, and what is being unpacked there, it is not for anyone. But back then, there was no such opportunity, so I stopped doing groups for a while. In individual work, of course, everything is different. It's simpler here. If you work with a person, you see specifically what is happening. Even if you've gone through some of my retreats or courses, or I channel energies, you can already provide quite qualified help in channeling that energy through a person. Whatever it is, no matter how it is, when you activate the flow, it always has a therapeutic effect. It's always about activating the exchange of information between a person and existence, between a person and the earth. So, the crown and root chakras start working in hyperdrive, the central channel gets activated, and there's this heating of the body, activating all the systems. We see that energy comes in, the person becomes more confident, they feel more fulfilled, they start to feel more, understand more, and the right thoughts come to them. So, individual work is always better, even if you're not a super professional. But if you follow my methods exactly, doing it just like I said, with no special enthusiasm and no deviations to the left or right, then what you do will likely have a really good effect, as long as you follow all the safety techniques in general. There will always be benefits. If you're going into a group process, my advice is to pay very, very, very close attention to the person leading that group. If you feel an inner response, like, yeah, go ahead, get what you need. If you feel like something's off, well, friends, for the sake of experience, you can still go. But my advice is, listen to yourself, listen to your heart. If you feel that something is wrong, well, friends, for the sake of experience, of course, you can still go. But my advice to you is, listen to yourself, listen to your heart. So, I don't really see a big difference between group work and individual work, you know? Because I work with groups now, and I also work individually. But, anyway, I prioritize individual work. Because what can be done in individual work will always be slower in a group. Because it's a group. No matter how good a master is, they can't pay attention to everyone at once. One thing is protection, another thing is covering. The flow is there, that's it, but it's a different story to go into the structure and work it out. So, you still need to go through each person one at a time. You can't just do that for everyone. Some things can be done for everyone, but that doesn't mean everyone has the same problem. If there were this magical button, you know, I strive for that, I create different programs, I want to get to the point where healing happens with just one click. Just gave it, and that's it. And so any person, you just give it to them, and they. And unpacked. I'm still working towards that. Yes, I'm close. Yes, I'm getting somewhere, but I still have to work. You still have to look at it. You still have to analyze it. You know, feel it for yourself. Go through it yourself. Otherwise, you can't really do the work. So, friends, come to our groups, take our courses. I'm telling you all, you're doing great. Keep working on yourselves.